Lights, camera, action.
Ready? Welcome to another episode of the WeakLEE Podcast. I am the woman in front of the camera, the first lady of the WeakLEE Podcast. And today I have my guest, Ziggy, back here.
Hi.
We're going to run it back. I feel like episode 1, we touched on a very sensitive topic, but we didn't get into the feels. So we're going to do this the woman style.
The woman style. Yes.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So just diving back into what we talked about prior to, I caught the last 5 minutes of the episode, and I was disappointed that I didn't get a chance to like be here for the full thing, just to like throw everything that I had. I want to start by saying that this is always a safe space for people to share their stories, judgment-free, criticism-free, and to know that you are heard, you are seen, and most of all, you are believed. So I want to open that to you, letting you know that you are not alone. I sit across from you as a sexual assault victim as well. And all I ever really wanted was for somebody to make me feel seen, make me feel heard, and believe me. And I want to let you know that I will be that person for you if you don't have that person in your life. So feel free to share your story, share whatever makes you feel safe, or whatever you're comfortable with sharing with people out there that are listening.
I really appreciate you for extending that. A lot of women don't have that. Honestly, they don't have that lane. They don't have people to support them. And they are also not mentally encouraged to talk about this type of stuff. So we do need these platforms, and thank you for extending that.
You're welcome.
I guess what I want to share, it wasn't just an isolated situation with me. It wasn't just once. I feel like it kept happening, and with me not having the protection that I needed as a child, it just continued to happen. And some of the things that I touched on last episode was the fact that when you don't have adults that are watching or paying attention and having that support, things do happen. It wasn't just one person in my family, it was multiple people. And it was difficult because you have to still encounter these people at functions. You have to still be in family dynamics and act like nothing happened. It was challenging. And also mentally, I didn't know how to. It was like I was holding this big secret, and it was just so hard. Like people don't talk about that side of it because
it's heavy.
It's heavy. And holding back your tongue, over the years, it translates into you not speaking up for yourself, not talking when things actually do happen in your adult life. So that is something that happened to me. And it was just hard to gauge as a woman. Yeah. Just in general.
What I want to add to that, or what I want to expand on, are a few things. One, victim shaming, especially when it comes down to how long you waited to tell your story.
Yes.
And then also like challenging your perspective and how you view yourself after this happens. So first and foremost, the whole victim shaming, right? A lot of people don't speak up because when they do, they don't feel comfortable speaking up right when it happens. And so they wait. And then you tell your story, and then it's met with, well, why you waited so long as hell? Or why you didn't say this before? Or, you know, and like people challenge whether they really believe you based off of you trying to find the comfort or the courage to speak up.
Yes.
And I think that's a big challenge too, when you face something, it doesn't even have to be like sexual assault. It can be anything, whether it's domestic violence and you choose to like not say anything until years down the line, because that's when you feel comfortable or you feel like you're safe with someone then to say it. But as women, we're always met with that. Like, what took you so long to say something?
Yes.
You know, like these things don't happen normally, you know, so you don't always think like, okay, well, this happened to me today. Let me say something today. Because you do carry shame. You carry guilt. You carry regret. Because again, like we're told time and time again that these things happen because it was our fault.
Yeah.
You were not raped or assaulted because of what you wore. You were not raped or assaulted because you were drunk. You were not raped or assaulted because you were in the wrong place at the wrong time or with the wrong people. It's because you came in contact with somebody who is not a good person.
Yeah. And they took advantage of you.
Yeah. And like, why are we not like shifting that?
Yeah.
You know, so that victims do feel more, you know, compelled to come forward and speak their truth.
Right.
But I honestly feel like, you know, the good have to suffer for the bad, because you have some people that'll come forward and they'll say like fake things that aren't true and try and make like big claims over it. So the people on the other side of it, they don't really know, you know, and they kind of straddle the fence, because it's like, I want to believe you, but you took so long to say something. I don't necessarily know if that really happened or not. So it's kind of like playing devil's advocate. You don't really know like what's the best way to go about it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
From a child's perspective, I believe that my credibility was questioned because I came out so late to tell people. But the issue, my personal issue, was it was happening to me so young, and it was happening to me before somebody even told me the names of my body parts. Like it happened very early on. So I didn't really have the words to articulate what was going on to me. And it wasn't really until I went to therapy and really talked about it to where I got that understanding that it was wrong. And I knew it was wrong. I just didn't know how to, I guess, talk about it.
How to communicate that.
Exactly. So I think what most women face, number one, is find the courage after going through something so shameful,
hard to do.
because it's not supposed to happen to you. Like somebody is taking control of your innocence, I feel, or your vulnerability, and that should never be a thing. But I think that going through that experience, I'm losing my train of thought. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
But going through that and experiencing it, I feel there's, I guess, a stigma with Black women. And I think that's a deeper topic.
No, let's clock it. Let's clock it.
They sexualize us very young.
Yes.
And it's just difficult because when you're growing into your body, and I was very proportioned, and I once I hit puberty, it was like I was a woman, but I was very young. Yeah. And in some conversations, no matter what I wore, even when I played sports, like people were looking at my body even then. And so just going through those type of environments I can see why things like that happen. I could see that. Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to add something?
So you so basically you think it's because of figures will have a lot to do with it? Or that just makes you an easier target for people to want to come
I think it wasn't just the figure. I think I think that's a part of it, but just early on, just sexualizing Black women. It's not really about figure, but that's a part of it. Like why men are turned on. There are men that are turned on by all kind of stuff, but that is a part of it, I feel. Right. It's not one isolated situation as to why that's the target, but that is a part of it.
Yeah, because I think there's like a lot of different reasons why men be so quick to be attracted to women. And a lot of it have to do with like clothes, certain things they wear, how they wear it. And like we say, some men are just weird. Like they just creeps.
For sure.
But I think the men who victimize women, who assault women, that's just who they are. You know, like I have to challenge the idea that it's what you were wearing or it's the way that you were shaped that this happened to you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like you just came
are.
across somebody who was a bad person. You know, you just happened to be in the wrong company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because that also takes away your voice as a victim as well. Like people telling you, oh, well, like if you've ever heard like older people, like I used to hear like my grandparents say all the time, oh, that little girl is fast. So because she's quote unquote fast, it's okay for her to have been molested or raped by someone because she's fast.
But when I used to hear that, what exactly was fast? Like just because somebody's friendly doesn't make them fast.
Well, like they attach that, I guess, label to them because they're acting like womanly or older than their age. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. Older than their age, more mature.
Yeah.
Not in a girl's place.
Yeah.
Want to be too much in adults' company.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Or too loud or just anything. Anything could be looked at as fast.
But I mean, if you're around a man who is not a pedophile, you're safe.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
I can't sit here and be like, oh, well, yeah, like, you know, she asked for it because she wore short shorts or because, you know, she acted older than her age. I can't get with that.
Right, because like you said, it's not about what the woman do. It's all about the man. Like a woman could do anything, but it's still going to take that man to take it there.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I cannot stress this enough. You were not a victim in your situation because of what you wore, where you were. If you were under the influence, whether you did certain things or you hung out in certain places, like that had nothing to do with it. Like the things that happened to you at the hands of bad people. Like these are bad people that we encounter. And it's not like we take so much pressure off of them and it's all placed on the victim. Well, what did you do wrong? How can you change this? Like, how could you have avoided the situation when it's like, I could have avoided the situation if I wouldn't have been living in a house with a rapist. I could have avoided the situation if I didn't go to a college party where there were several rapists that have been raping people multiple times and they just choose to either silence their victims or make their victims feel like their voices won't be heard. So like nobody's spreading the word so you don't know and you're unaware.
Right. And that's one of the biggest problems with life. Like the people who are victims are not treated fairly.
No.
And that's, like I said, that's with life, period.
Yeah, with everything.
Because all the bad people get praised.
Yep.
And all the people who did nothing wrong and going by the book of okay, I'm not gonna say good people because, you know, ain't nobody's perfect. So it's like okay people, but yet we're getting treated like we're the ones doing the bad things.
Especially if we click out.
Right. And then you force me to click out. And then when I click out,
now
you acting like I'm worse than the person who did this to me.
And now you know better because you've stooped to their level. But I also wanna because that was one thing, but also like challenging my perspective, like life after having gone through what I went through. I had to really wear that as a badge of honor because I felt like I was wearing it more so like a weight, like a toe tag. I felt like it was weighing me down. I am not what happened to me. I am not a victim in my situation. I survived my situation. And I was angry with God for a while. We'll talk about that because I was angry. As I'm like, why me? Why did this have to happen to me? And now at my big age, 31, life has come full circle. I have a sister who is 14 years younger than me. And now I'm a mother of 3 girls. And now I say, who better than me? Because I would much rather it be me than them. So I feel like I had to go through that to protect them from them going through it, or if they do go through it, so that I can be their safe space. You can come to me because I see you, I hear you, and I'm going to do something about it because I didn't have that growing up. And so challenging your perspective from like that victim mindset, like this happened to me, you know, like woe is me, and like feeling the power, like this happened to me, but guess what? It made me stronger. And I had to really think about this. And from the last episode up until now, I have not slept because I've not spoken about what has happened to me. There's one person in this room who knows exactly what happened to me and who knows every event that has happened leading up to that and things that affect me on a day-to-day basis, which we're going to get into that as well. So this was hard for me to come out and speak, but I knew that it was important because all I wanted was to know that I wasn't alone in what I was going through as well.
Yes.
What you gonna add?
I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Like starting the podcast, I knew the day was gonna come when he was gonna talk about this. I didn't bring it to you and tell you, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And who was the cowards?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I didn't feel safe until now to speak and to know that, yeah, this happened to me, but it doesn't take away from my worth. I'm still valuable. I'm not damaged. And I can still be a woman. I can still be a wife. I can still be a mother to my kids. I can still be a sister that my sister can look up to. I'm still a person and I'm still here. And what also made me think about this was I was actually praying last night. I pray every night. I say my prayers before I go to sleep because I hardly sleep. I have trouble sleeping. I feel like that's going to bring me peace. And realizing that I'm not very specific or intentional with my prayers. And I pray to God and I ask him for strength every night in my prayers. God, give me strength. Not realizing that the trials and the lessons that I face are giving me the strength.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So the things that I deal with on a day-to-day basis are his way of giving me strength that I ask for, that he's giving me. So I open my arms to you again as well, like knowing that it is a weight to carry, but your strength comes from him. Don't wear it like a toe tag. Yeah. Don't let it weigh you down. Wear it like a badge of honor because he saw you and he chose you because you're strong enough to carry the burden.
Yes.
And lead your life with purpose. Don't be shamed. You shouldn't be ashamed. The person who did these things to you should be ashamed.
Yes.
And they should wear a burden. Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. What I would like to add, I knew it was coming. I just felt it building up.
I knew I was going to need it. I knew I was going to need it.
Thank you so much for being so vulnerable. I know last time was really that time for me, but I feel like this was by God's design because I feel like everything happens for a reason. God doesn't put people in rooms with you unless you are supposed to be there. So I know that maybe this alignment was for a reason.
Yeah.
I think the wisdom that comes from re-loving yourself after going through something like that is like no other. Nobody else can feed you. Nobody else can pour into you. They have people that can like be there during that process, but you have to trust in God and in yourself. Like the energy you have to put into yourself after going through something like that, only certain people can exude that and go through that. So I definitely, I know exactly what you're talking about when you say that, because I had to pour into myself so much over the years and face myself.
Yeah. Can we talk about that though? The weight of that, like having to really look yourself in the mirror and learning to re-love the parts of you that were damaged by someone else. It's hard to do.
It's hard.
It's hard to do.
Yes, I agree.
And it's hard to shut out the words of everyone else, the judgment, the stigmas that everyone else will place on us. You know, it's hard to tune that out because on your bad days, that's what gets the best of you. Like, you know, like, am I ever gonna find love? Am I ever gonna trust men again after this happening? You know?
Yes.
That's a big thing.
Yes, definitely. One of the main things I had to go through was after going through something so traumatic, I completely shunned sex, relationships, just everything. I had a hate toward men because of just the feeling that I felt from men. And I created a transactional relationship with men after a while. And it was very hard for me to get back into love. And just opening my heart up again after going through something like that, it definitely made my dating life very hard. And I know, like, just being able to be vulnerable again, sexually as well, that is difficult.
It is, because it's a very intimate experience, and especially when you've been robbed of feeling safe in a sexual act, because you no longer view your body as your own. You know, I don't know if it's the same for you, but that's how it was for me.
It was like that for me.
I just felt like my body didn't necessarily belong to me. And you can go through like different waves. Like, you know, me and Miss Rhonda, we talked about this after the last episode, where some people experience like hypersexuality after going through a sexual assault or a rape or something. Because then they start exploring all these options, and they just, you know, they don't really feel attached to their body anymore. Their body is just there. And then they use it either to get what they want, or to try and like get control back, because you lost your control. Someone robbed you of that. Or like you said, you have issues where you don't want nothing to do with sex. You don't want nothing to do with men. I feel like I went through waves of both. And now it's challenging, and I didn't really realize it until like my current relationship, that my sexual life was heavily affected by the sexual assault. I went through like a lifelong sexual distaste, I will say, not actually enjoying it. Doing it because I felt like I had to, because I felt like I was obligated to, because I was in a relationship and this is what a girlfriend is supposed to do, or this is what a wife is supposed to do. Like, not feeling in charge of my own body. Not even just like feeling like this is what I'm supposed to do, but also like if I don't do it, they're going to go elsewhere, and feeling like I have to do it, like I don't have a choice but to. And so it took the pleasure from it. Like, there's no enjoyment when you feel like you're doing something because you're obligated to do it, and not because you're doing it at your free will.
Like it's a chore.
Yes. Yeah. Like it's just something else that I'm supposed to do. Like I'm told this is what I'm supposed to do. And so I'm just doing it. And so then I'm just there during the act, you know? That's a big struggle. The whole hating men thing. I don't think I will ever not hate men. I will die on that hill. Bryce, put your glasses on, because men are awful. They are. And they just don't get it. And like, this is a female episode, and the women out there gonna feel me. But yeah, like I don't think I'll ever get over that. I mean, like there are a few men that I choose to tolerate. Like the one who's over there in my face. But no, like he knows. It's all, you know, jokes. But I just think that there's something that you carry every day, but you have the choice of whether you let it tear you down or you let it build you up. Yeah.
I have a question. How, when you both were or felt as though you weren't supportive of being supportive, or someone supporting you, how did you all handle the rejection of not being supported?
Oh, okay. So for me, this happened to me in college. So I wasn't, you know, a child when these things happened to me. So I was much older. And I think a lot of that had to do with the whole hypersexuality thing too. Because I'm like, this happened to me. Nobody believes that this happened to me. I don't want to tell anybody, because I also feel like victims will test certain things. Like they'll tell you bits and pieces of things to see how you handle it before they come forth and tell you what actually happened. And I think for me, there was an event that happened and told part of the story. Wasn't believed, was criticized for it. And so I never came out and said what actually happened to me when this happened to me in college, until now, because I've got somebody who is always in my business and always asking me, why you don't do this? Why you don't want to do that and all that? So I had to explain these things, but I also felt safe enough to tell him and not have that like thrown back in my face. And you smiling, what?
Because you know I had to figure you out.
Yeah. So he really was a mirror. I had to face myself. And that was the biggest closet. And I felt like I couldn't be myself. And I also couldn't be open and in this with him without disclosing everything that was going on.
And that's why you're a blessing to me, because I had to do the same thing with you.
Mm-hmm. Love that. We're not going to make this a whole love podcast. Okay, we're talking about something.
It's okay. I think people are going to enjoy like the balance.
Yes. But yeah, I think it heavily affects everything, and like not just your dating life, but your day-to-day too. It heavily affects your self-esteem.
Yes.
That's the biggest hurdle. Like trying to feel like a human again after something like that happens to you. Mm-hmm. You know, and did you experience that as well? Like even though you went through it so young?
From my personal experience, going through the rejection, I felt isolated. Mm-hmm. And I really couldn't reach out to my family members about it at that time. So it kind of caused me to act out. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really understand, because in my younger years as a teenager, I was kind of shielded in the household. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't go outside. I couldn't do anything. I was very guarded by my family. And I feel like they knew what happened to me, but it kind of isolated me. Mm-hmm. So I then turned to like social media, and I turned to like just virtual reality world to kind of give me more support. And I was looking for support from people on the phone. So I made a lot of friends on social media and stuff. And that ended up turning into me having like a support system over the years. But as far as in my day-to-day life, I did not have that from my friends, from my family. Mm-hmm. It was hard. It was like I was isolated. So that was what happened for me.
And that's hard too, just realizing that this family that you hold so much value and pride in, they couldn't come to your defense. They couldn't protect you. They couldn't keep you safe. And ultimately, when you turn to them and you ask them for help, they did nothing about it. I know.
And do you think that's another reason why a lot of people don't say nothing? Because they feel like they don't have that whole support system?
Yes.
Because I feel like you feel it, because you know before you speak on anything.
You know how people are going to act. Because if you really try to exercise, like you said, you started with kind of something, you have told something. That's something that I did as well. I kind of like said something happened.
Just to
and
see.
When I see how everybody started acting toward me, that's kind of like,
I can't say everything.
Yeah, I can't talk. So in turn, I made a video years later. And as I'm in my adult years at 23, I made a video, and people still don't know from that video what exactly happened to me. I didn't tell anybody in my family extensively what happened, but I kind of broke it down. But I think it puts you in a space where you can't communicate how you feel fully. And it just, I don't know, it separates you from everybody.
It does. But I will say, also in support of that, to know that just because you're blood related, it doesn't necessarily make you family. And God will position people into your life and surround you with what you need. So if you don't come from that family, if your blood relatives are not what you need, He's going to place people in your life.
Yes.
People are going to come in.
Yes.
And I have completely had to reorchestrate this idea of a village in my head, because I'm thinking of a traditional village. But your village,
you're like, oh, my mom, my dad.
Build. You have to hand pick a village because these are your people. You have to hand pick your people. They're not just going to be there. You've got to find them. But you only find them by being vulnerable and speaking out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think when I spoke out finally after all those years, and I went no contact with my family, I finally started to encounter people that were supposed to be a part of my village.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a lot of trial and error because in college, I still wasn't speaking up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was aligning with false, like, people, codependent relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very hard because these people, they knew that I went through something, but I had an unhealthy attachment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sex, drugs,
Mm-hmm.
alcohol, going out partying, like distracting myself.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got planted in my roots, in my energy, and I planted my energy and I knew what I wanted, I started to truly align with people that were here to help me, like, transform,
Mm-hmm.
honestly.
Because anytime God asks you to put something down, he's going to give you something greater. But you have to be strong enough and confident enough to put it down first. So you had to cut those ties. So these things had to happen in order for you to be strong enough to say, I deserve better. And I'm going to walk away from this because greater is ahead. And I think that's how you were supposed to find your village. That's how you're supposed to find your purpose, because this happened to you. And it's unfortunate that it did happen and that it had to be this way for it to happen. But again, challenge your perspective. Who better than you?
Yes.
Who better than you? Because you don't know who you might be saving.
That's
you
why
know?
I'm so open about my story, because I don't know who is hitting. I don't know
Yeah.
if somebody's supposed to see this and it might help them go on their own journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was big for me too. That was another reason why I was like, I don't know if I want to get on here and talk about this, you know, because it's hard to. But I also want people to know that, like, we all go through the same things. Like, nobody is alone in their struggles. Like, somebody's going through the same thing that you're going through. Somebody's probably going through worse. Yeah, somebody might have it better, but we all face challenges. And we should all be able to show up and be vulnerable and be ourselves and be able to express, like, hey, I don't always have it all together. It looked good on Instagram. But you know, like, I
look
fall
good on
apart
Instagram.
behind the scenes too. You know, like, we're all human.
Yes.
You know, we're designed this way for a reason. I think social media got a lot to do with that too. Like, people not being able to come forth and say, like, bad things have happened to them because people want to appear like they have it all together. And it's okay to not have it all together. It's okay to fall apart. It's okay to be sad. It's okay. It's okay. Like, it really is okay.
And what makes it sensitive too is, you know, you don't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
You don't want broken relationships, but it has to be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where your healing comes from. You know, it has to be told. You know, if it's a secret and you can't speak about it, it's a bondage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's important for us to overcome that.
Yeah.
You know, no matter who it may hurt. So you know what? It does get better.
Mm-hmm.
People heal from it, but we have to allow people to heal with the truth and not a lie.
Yes. Yeah.
Authenticity.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
I love that. I love that.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. I don't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dating. I'm trying to figure that out. I guess how I'm trying to find exactly how I want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
How have you grown into a relationship after being through something like that? Because I'm still struggling with, I guess, being vulnerable with people enough and also letting them show up for me, because it's been very difficult in my past relationships where I would be vulnerable and then I don't get the response that I need. I'm very open with stuff, but I don't get the response that I need or the nourishing. I guess how to find that balance in your relationship and how to let somebody be there for you, because I'm so used to, I guess, like, women being there and it's different with men. So how were you able to, I guess, grow into your relationship dealing with the assault that you dealt with and also being a mom too?
I will say honestly, for me, we taking this back to, like, episode, what was it, 2 or 3? I don't know. We talk about like your person has to find you. You don't find those people. They find you. But the only way to let them find you is to be vulnerable enough to share it. The people who handle it with care and don't treat you like what you've been through, those are your people. So when it comes down to like dating a man, the only way to really feel free and to know if you're with someone who is safe, tell them, this is what happened to me. This is what I face on a day-to-day. How does that make you feel? And if it turns into y'all have an argument a month down the line and they throwing it in your face, so they're trying to make you feel like, oh, I don't want to use profanity on here, but you're the H word because, such and such happened to you or whatever, it's not your person. But you have to feel comfort in knowing that when you share these things that have happened to you, your person is going to be okay with it. They're going to guard that with their life. You're going to feel safe with them, and they're going to reciprocate that energy to you. If you share it with someone, they use it against you, it's not your person. And guess what? Good. Because now I get to go find it. Right. Now I know it's not you.
It's not you.
So
you're
now I get
husband.
to go to
you're
the next
husband.
Okay. So when you're praying, asking God to send your husband, just know there are going to be people in your way. You're going to get roadblocks. That's the test. Don't feel like you have to shame away or hide these things that have happened to you. Throw them out there. This is me. This is what happened to me. And your person is going to be like,
come on.
What else you got? What else you got? And that's how you know. Yeah.
But you got to know and feel that you can tell it to them to begin with.
Mm-hmm. And you'll know.
Exactly.
You'll know. Because the energy will be there.
I think what I face is I feel that it's the time and I'm vulnerable, I'm open, and they don't have the words. They're just like,
girl, what I told you about me? I hate men, girl.
They're just like, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah. Oh, girl, they be so up in arms. Girl, you be like, girl, men ain't shit. And then they be up here like, I am. Y'all talk about me.
I mean,
whatever.
I understand we not, but we still not that bad.
No, some of y'all not that bad.
We bad though.
You gotta weed through them, girl. You gotta weed through them.
I'm knowing.
There's few and many. But like, even also like when it comes down to my kids, I think that was a lot for me too, like being proactive and making sure that once they started talking, that I think I expressed that at the end of the last episode, making sure they knew the proper terms for their body parts so that they could communicate to me if something were to happen. And I got a lot of backlash for that, like from my family as well, because my daughter would be like, Mommy, like my vagina hurts. And I'm like, why? Like, what is going on? They're like, why is she saying vagina? And I'm like, because if something happens, I don't want her being like, oh, so-and-so touched my cookie. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I need you to be able to...
report, they have to say it.
Yes.
They have to be able to have the terminology for them to understand. You can't give it a nickname.
Exactly.
No.
And that, I think that also ties into like my profession as well and seeing so much. Like, I feel like I have PTSD from just seeing so much at work too. That it's hard. And I have girls and you want to protect them forever, but you know that they still have to go out into the world. So the only way to really give them what they need is to have those uncomfortable conversations. So we're going to have the sex talk at some point. Like, I'm not going to shy away from that. The only thing that challenges me is when, because I feel like kids are getting exposed to these things younger and younger, and you don't really know when is the right time to like have those conversations. But ultimately, I mean, it applies to dating men and raising children. You just have to have the conversation, and from there, you know where to go. Yeah. Okay. But I do wish you luck.
Thank you so much
on your dating journey. And I do want you to know that, you are worthy. You're worthy of being loved. You're worthy of being respected. You're worthy of feeling safe with someone, because something that happened to you does not define who you are as a person. Yes, I do wish you the best
Thank
of
you
luck
so
with
much.
that. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Right. Bryce giving me the eyes, y'all.
He's
So
like, it's
I
time.
guess that's it.
What you think? I thought you was asking for the wrap up.
Darren, do you have anything that you want to add? 'Cause he
Oh,
got
yeah.
the mic in hand, like he ready to just throw something in there.
Y'all, we gotta give y'all flowers. We got some strawberries for y'all from Minnie's Chocolates.
Aww. That's so sweet.
Oh, this is sweet. Thanks, y'all. Thank Minnie.
Oh my goodness. They look good.
Yeah, I hate some men, y'all. Not all men.
All
These little men
men.
in here are kind of like gentlemen. Thanks, y'all. It's another episode of the WeakLEE Podcast. Tune in again next week. Remember, let's all remain open, honest, and vulnerable. See you next time.
Yeah.
And this is the WeakLEE Podcast. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tune in next week.